Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview Sheldon Vick, a sports photographer. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
I'm doing good. Can you tell me about how you got started in sports photography?
Yeah, I got started around 2010. I was at a college game, college football. It was Georgia Tech, Wake Forest, and I always enjoyed taking pictures. I had a little point and shoot, and I was taking pictures at the game, and I was looking at the photographers down on the sidelines, and I was like, I'd like to try that one day, and that's kind of it got me a spark. So I basically taught myself how to use a camera, watching YouTube videos, and it started out as a hobby, and from then on, I just got better and better.
That's inspiring because that's similar to my story.
Mhm.
How did you know that you wanted to become a sports photographer?
Uh, actually, like I said, I watched sports all the time. I grew up sports. I was a former athlete. So when I picked up the camera and I was at a sporting event and I enjoyed that camera so much that it naturally gravitated to sports photography. So that was my thing right there when I picked up the camera. It was sports photography.
What are some colleges that you photographed at?
Uh, I photographed Duke, Carolina, ECU, North Carolina State, Shaw, and Campbell University.
What what professional team have you photographed for?
I've shot, covered the Carolina Panthers. I've done maybe 10 of their games. Yeah, over the probably have been doing it for about 5 or 6 years. Normally go to about 2 or 3 games a year.
How did you get started in photographing NFL games?
I started out when I first started shooting for the Wilson Times freelance photography. I started out, it was high school games, and the Paul Durham, the sports editor, he asked me if I wanted to do a college game, and I was like, of course. So I did a couple of college games, and so I said, well, let me ask you to do a professional game, and that's how I started shooting professional games.
What high school events have you shot for?
Uh, Several. I've done the wrestling championships, softball state championships, football state championships, soccer state championships, uh, baseball. Yeah, I've covered almost all of them. I haven't done track and field yet. I think track and field is one I would like to do, but I haven't done that one yet. But almost pretty much all the major sports I've covered.
As a sports photographer, how hard is it due to the coronavirus not having sports to photograph?
It's hard. I miss it so much. I'm not even used to coming home and not having a high school game or a high school meet to go to. I miss all the coaches standing on the sidelines or on the basketball court. Miss all the coaches. Miss all the kids. That's the best part of shooting high school sports. The kids and the coaches and the community. I've met so many great people. That's what I love about it. But I miss them. I miss everything about it.
Same over here. I miss them too. Can you talk about your experience photographing in the NFL?
Yes, I can remember my first game. It was amazing. I mean, when you walk into that stadium and step on the field, it's breathtaking to see all those players who you watched on TV and the teams you grew up watching. I'm a Miami Dolphins fan, and I had the opportunity to cover a couple of Panthers and Miami games. And I've been a Miami Dolphin fan since the mid '80s, and first time I ever seen the Miami Dolphins up close like that was when I was covering the Panthers and Miami game, and that was just unbelievable. I'm like, wow, I'm here. That's my team right there. I grew up watching them, and now I'm right there on the field with them. So it's an amazing feeling. It's almost like you a part of the team, part of the game. Yeah,
Can you talk about your experience photographing the Carolina Panthers?
yeah, it's amazing. My son, he's a Carolina Panthers fan. He's my family is from Jamaica, and the first time they ever saw football was at the Carolina Panthers training camp. So sometimes when I go to the games to cover the games, they'll come along with me, and they enjoy it, and I enjoy it. Uh, Panthers organization, they're a great organization, very fan friendly, and it's amazing just to be able to cover them and learn all the things that NFL players go through, all the training and watching them work. And when you get out there on the field, how fast the game is. That's one thing that I was amazed. That amazes me when I cover the NFL Carolina Panther games. Is how fast those guys are. One of the moments I can remember was I was on the sideline and the play was about 20 yards from me, and the guy ran out of bounds, and in no time, from 20 yards to him getting right up on me, it was amazing how fast those guys are. So I didn't get hit, but it was close. It was amazing to see how fast those guys are.
Who are some players that you photographed that have moved on to the next level of either college or in the professional?
Uh, Several I could think of right now. My favorite, Nadir Thompson. I actually photographed him from Little League football. Right now, he's at Virginia Tech. So that's one thing that's very amazing. I love that too, to watch these kids go from Little League, middle school, high school, college, all the way up to professional league. Uh, another I didn't cover Julius Peppers in high school, but he's another area guy that I've covered in the NFL. Everett Brown, who was coaching for the Panthers, he played over at Bedingfield. Todd Gurley from Tarboro. All these guys from this area, it makes me proud to know that those guys are from our viewing area and they've moved up to perform at such a high level. And I know there'll be plenty more. Kobe White, uh, so many, so many guys that I've seen and met through photography, and it's just photography has just taken me places I never thought I'd be, and I've met people I've never thought I'd meet. I've met what's his name, Rasheed Wallace. Uh, so many great guys that I met just through photography.
Can you talk about your experience photographing the North Carolina High School playoff game at Carter Finley?
Yes, that was another highlight in my photography career because I've covered at the time I had covered baseball, softball, wrestling. I had never covered football, the football state championships, and mainly because a team from our area hadn't made it that far. So when they made it, and sports editor said I could cover it, and I was like, yes, finally, I get to cover the football, North Carolina high school football championship. I wish we would have won, but that was a great experience, and thank you Southern Nash for making it so I could have that opportunity.
Can you talk about your experience covering the North Carolina High School wrestling tournament with all the wrestlers in one room and how it is to photograph all of them?
Yes, I'm uh, I'm a state championship wrestler myself. I won it in '93. So wrestling is what I I'm known for, and I love wrestling. And to cover wrestling, I love it every year. I look forward to going down there. I make sure I have those days set so I'll be free so I can go down to the state championships and cover those guys. I love it. It's very exciting, especially in the championship rounds, the finals. That's where all the emotion and you see the guys. They cry. You see the disappointment. You see the happiness, and you just see all the emotions. That's what I love about the finals, and you can get great shots there. It's amazing. I love it.
Is there any other team in college or professional that you look forward to covering?
Uh, One day I would like to do a bowl game. I haven't done a bowl game yet, so that's next on my list to cover a bowl game. Yeah.
What advice would you give upcoming sports photographers like me and like others in the field?
Uh, Keep practicing, practice, practice, practice. Uh, a story when I first started, I picked up a DSLR. I went to YouTube. I learned it. I went out. I used to go to the spot, and I like to thank Matt Elwitz for allowing me. He'd call me, and I called him, and I said, "Can I come down, shoot some pictures?" He said, "Yeah, we love to have you." And I would go to those little league games and take the pictures of the little league guys, and that's where I learned all the little tricks. I learned picked up a lot of little tips and tricks, and from there I would go to high school games, and I didn't have access to get on the field. Sometimes those that knew me would let me get on the field, but wherever I could, I'd take my camera and I'd just shoot and shoot and shoot. And before long, I was good enough. I submitted some shots to the paper, and they liked it and said they could use me. And over time, they started using me more and more and more, and I kept getting better and better. And I still, even now, practice. I go out and I just shoot. Sometimes I'll go to the middle school game if I don't have a high school game scheduled, and I just go and practice. So that's the big thing, and always set a goal and work towards it, and don't stop until you get there.
Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
Uh, I'm on Facebook, Sheldon Vick. You can find me on Instagram, uh, Showtime Sheldon, Twitter, Showtime Sheldon, and I think that's all of them I have.
Thank you again, Sheldon, for your interview. You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me at YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Sheldon, for your interview.
You're welcome.